I'm referring to none other than character designer and animation artist Len Simon.
You're alive?
Yeah, the man out of speaking.
Whoa, that fell right out there, sir.
Something's happened.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
I
got worried there for a sec while we were climbing the stairs there, I don't mind telling you. You with the talk about taking my head and everything.
Life was a constant struggle for survival. Australopithecus had no time to enjoy himself because around every corner was danger.
I'm Len Simon. Thanks for having me, guys. Bill and Alicia, thank you so much. Just to introduce myself and talk a little bit about who I am and how I got started. I'm a traditional animator. I started in the animation industry probably late 80s, around 1987. Let's see, but I'm going to go a little bit before that. At the very beginning, I started drawing when I could hold a pencil. So, like when I was a little kid, it's like I think I went back to a school that I attended kindergarten at years later, and the principal still had one of my drawings up on his wall. So I started very, very young. When I was around 13, I actually started doing illustrations professionally. I started doing T-shirt designs and started going into companies, and just so I could make a little bit of money on the side, I started undercutting their current rates that they were paying. So I built up a portfolio. By the time I was 14 years old, I had companies like Black Label and Budweiser coming to me. I started working for a company called Brian Lacrosse, designing lacrosse equipment and illustrating for Lacrosse International magazine. And then went on from there. By the time I was 17, I started teaching night school for cartooning, drawing for cartoons. when I was about, I'm going to say 12 years old. I knew what I wanted to do. My eldest brother, Mark Simon, was an animator. I figured that was a pretty neat career choice to go into. Not a lot of people even knew what an animator was. They just think that animated shows and movies just create themselves. Uh, so I thought it'd be unique, and my brother did it, and he was doing okay at it. So I made this big plan to go to college, and like even from an early age, when my brother started teaching at Sheridan, I started getting more information about the summer school versus the yearly curriculum. So I actually put streamlined my education into doing 3 years and two by doing two summer schools and then 1 year, so I could get 3 years education in 2 years. And then my plan was to go and do TV for, I don't know, about 10 years, and hopefully get into feature and hopefully work my way up to directing animator. My last year of high school, I calculated all the grades I needed to get for my exams and took my exams halfway through the year, so I could actually leave school early to go to summer school because it overlapped. Um, After 3 months of summer school, um, I got picked up to go to Ireland to work with Don Bluth. Uh, so I got hired when I was still 18, and I moved over to Ireland on my just around my 19th birthday.
So we are so thankful for your very wise words of wisdom. And at this time, if we can go to the demo, that would be great.
Okay, so let's see. So one of the things that Alicia asked me to talk about, I guess, is like character design?
Yes.
Am I correct, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay. So are you able to see this other screen?
Yes,
like
we are.
everyone sees a little boy with his thumb up?
Yes, we are. We can see it.
Okay, cool. Currently, I'm working on a book about potty training. I'm doing working on an animation project at the moment, and then I do illustration on the side. So this is the little boy from the book. This is him on the potty. So they wanted a cute little character. So I've been dabbling in coloring on the computer. So I do a bit of everything. I sculpt. I learn how to paint on the computer and everything. So this is a fun little project. And I'm working with Bill and Alicia on some of the designs for the program here. Design. It's not just about putting lines on a piece of paper or make the eyes look like this guy or you're drawing the mouth like this. Design is something which makes a character stand apart from another character. So there's, I guess when we're laying out characters, we try to go for shapes. Like you can design a group of characters, and this is very common. Like putting three shapes like this. You can all see this other page, right? So got a triangle, and I got a rectangle, and I got an oval. So a lot of times we'll design a trio around these shapes. Any Disney movie, any Bluth movie, any like animated movie, when you have three henchmen, normally you do this unless they're triplets or something, where they all have Huey, Dewey, and Louie, or the three guys from was it Open Range with the cows that Disney did. It was the same character three times. Normally, we'll try to put some sort of design in there. I normally draw with a piece of paper, by the way. Let's see. So if I'm drawing a person's face, just basic proportions, a lot of times your eyes are going to be somewhere in the middle of your head. You have your nose here, and you have your mouth here. You have your eyebrows, and then you have your hairline. And you're going, okay, well, I got a dude here, and it looks human, and it's designing those features, but it's not design. You could take that same character and work with negative spaces and contrast. Grouping these same elements together, you got your eyes closer together. There's almost more of an appeal because you have everything isn't spaced out evenly. Having like thick eyebrows instead of these thin eyebrows. Now you have a dark shape with these with the whites of the eyes here, and then by taking your nose and popping it up here, close to the eyes, and then putting your mouth there. Now I have a lot of negative space down here, and you put these other features, and now you have something with personality, and it's more of a design. The one on the right is making a statement, where the one on the left is sort of generic.
Yes.
This is acceptable for a lot of people, but playing with these dimensions and looking for rest, having busy areas and rest. Now what you're doing is you're having the audience focus on one little area here. So when you're talking about body shape, it's the same thing. You can go very generic and have a person standing there. Go, okay, well, halfway his waist is going to be where my legs are. I'm going, okay, well, that's a guy, all right, but what kind of guy is that? If I were to take this section here and pull it up a little bit, maybe give him a smaller head and a bigger jaw instead of having the cranium so big. I'm going to raise my cranium up and then pull my proportions down here. I have something that, again, is concentrating a lot of my information up here. This acts as an arrow leading to where I want my focal point. All this negative space ends up dragging my eye up to the head here. I got my hands, which can be very expressive, but what I've done is I've tapered all my details down, opening it up to flow where I want the audience to look. I'm trying to work with something that design-wise is going to work really well. So taking that body shape, if I were to lift something up that's really heavy, I'm looking for design principles. So curves and straights, if this was a profile of this character lifting up this heavy box, like you got something here where you can actually put weight and a fun gesture. In doing that, your gesture process ends up becoming really, really fun and exciting. So I can take this character using these proportions, and this is a telltale if you have something that works really well. If I have the ability to gesture something really easily, then it's a good indication that with that appealing shape, I can go from expansion to contraction to expansion in a really fun manner, and I have appeal in that design. like I want to be able to do a line of action and get a nice gesture. Like if I'm like on this one, I'm doing contraction. The previous one, have expansion. I can gesture these really, really quickly in 30 seconds or less. Which on Anastasia, I did a character named Flemenkoff. Again, she was sort of fun because she had these really cool proportions. She had this big bun, this tuft of hair in the front. She had these old Russian lady, saggy, don't mean to offend anybody by saying the word boobs, but she had these dangly boobs, these skinny arms, these funny blocky hands. She had this big bum, this drapery here, and then these scrawny little legs with her feet. This has potential of being a nice design. And it's gesturable, and you can get some fluid animation from going in this direction. Like same thing when you're working with facial expressions. Some of the fun stuff that you see, if you guys are familiar with Milt Kahl, he really worked these principles, like being able to take a character that has a certain shape in their face, and you put these proportions on that body. Okay, and then you work with the gestures when you're posing out your scenes or your animation. This is a really fun proportion, so you can actually do some fun things when it comes to animating. Yes.
Yes, we would love to have you again because all this information you're giving us is just incredible, really inspiring and amazing, and we would love to have you back for another session with us. Would that be okay with you? Your work is beautiful, and we are so inspired by you. Thank you so much. We want to bring you back another time.
I'm glad this worked out. I would be honored to do that.
All right. Great. Thank you so much, Len.